It's time for The Shelf. Whangarei District Libraries Radio on Beagle Radio.
You are listening to The Shelf, a podcast for Whangarei District Libraries on Beagle Radio 88.1 FM, and a warm welcome to our summer special episode. Haere mai. Perhaps I should do a proper introduction. Ko Andy toku ingoa.
Hi, kia ora koutou, ko Karlie toku ingoa.
Ko Glenn toku ingoa. Hi everyone.
It is another Aotearoa summer in December. And because of my Americanness, summer in December is still a very strange thing to say. 'Tis a most wonderful time of the year to spend time outside, go to the beach, and my favorite activity, reading at the beach. And I was thinking about this the other day. My history of reading books at the beach is rather strange, unconventional. I tend to read very heavy books at the beach. Mm-hmm. I know I've read The House of the Spirits by Isabel Allende at the beach. And it's a great book, but I won't call it a happy story. Last summer I read A Star Called Henry by Roddy Doyle at Paihia Beach, and that's about the Irish Rebellion and Civil War, so it's not exactly a happy book either. And there is nothing like reading a depressing book at the beach while there's a guy next to you blasting reggae from his stereo. So we have a little bit of summer beach reading advice. For starters, read whatever you want.
Yeah, definitely.
And second, please keep your books safe at the beach. Do not read with wet hands. Do not store books in the same bag as your swimsuit. Some obvious things. Do not read while snorkeling. Do not give your books to the seagulls, or they might get bold and demand more.
Yeah, they're pretty greedy, those seagulls. Just
like when I've got my fish and chips. Serious advice, though. If you bring a book to the beach or on a camping trip, you can store it in a plastic freezer bag to protect it from water, sand, the elements, everything. The most common damage I see on books is water damage, seconded by dog bites.
Can I just jump in there? It's great advice to keep your book in a bag if you're taking it to the beach. Your plastic bag would be great. But don't do, this is the true story, and maybe we could do a segment on, weird books that have been returned, or whatever, books that have been returned back to us weird. But there was the incident some years ago where someone had been walking their dog at the beach, picked up their dog poop in the plastic bag, then thought, oh no, I'm going to return my library book, popped the book in the bag, and voila, through the return slot came the dog poo and the book. Yeah, so that's probably, we're not such a fan of that one?
No, definitely not. Again, I've had someone come to Whangarei Library and returned a book they found at a beach, one of our books. Right. So just keep an eye on your book in general. It's a good tip.
And I once found sand in a jigsaw puzzle box. I'm not sure how they did the puzzle at the beach.
But where's the flat surface?
Low tide, wet sand, it's fine.
Sounds like a difficult puzzle. I'd like to then introduce a song, something that could be played at the beach. It's a reggae song. There's a funny story behind it. It is Mr. Brown by Bob Marley. It's a song about a rumor that was going around in Jamaica about a ghost traveling around in a coffin with 3 wheels, and it had these buzzards on the top, and they were demanding to speak to Mr. Brown.
Oh, there we go.
So this is Mr. Brown by Bob Marley.
Mr. Brown is a
And welcome back to the Shelf Summer episode. That was Bob Marley singing Mr. Brown. And
What a jam that was.
yeah, it's a fun song. He really was the greatest. Well, because this is our end of the year and our summer special, we have some special messages. And our first one is going to be from the library manager, Paula. And here it is.
It's Paula Urlich here. I'm in the fortunate position of being the libraries manager at Whangarei District Libraries. Wonderful job working with wonderful people. We would just like to thank everybody for their support to the library over the past year, and also their support for the events we've had, such as the Character Hunt and the Heritage Talk series, just to name two. Staff have worked very hard to bring these events to the public. We're also very encouraged by the fact that the library is almost back to pre-COVID usage, and that's thanks to our loyal customers. We had a big downturn, as everybody did over COVID, but now we're back on track and looking forward to a great year next year. Thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you, Paula.
Yeah, thank you, Paula. And, oh, yes, indeed, Merry Christmas. It's 5 days in advance. But.
Woohoo! Merry Christmas.
And we have a second message here. It's just a little bit longer, but not much, from the mayor of Whangarei, Mayor Vince Cocurullo.
Well, our libraries in Whangarei are an amazing place. They have lots of different character events from the character hunt right the way through to actual Scrabble events and different things which happen at the library. So they're an interactive place rather than just the standard every book storing place nowadays. I believe our library has got the outdoor as well, so it allows the remote access to many of the books. And it's a good place to... Oh, one of the biggest things our library does do is it does a community outreach. So a lot of our team from council use the library as a place to interact with the community to try and get them to access certain information or even surveys.
Awesome.
At the library, we are always looking for book recommendations, and sometimes our staff recommend books, and then we post them on social media. It promotes our collection and represents our staff in a positive light. Do you want to recommend a book or an author?
Oh, recommending books. Look, I'm one of these old-fashioned people where I love cookbooks. Okay. So I love like Gino and Jamie Oliver and those types of cookbooks. So when you've got books like that people can borrow, the biggest problem with cookbooks, though, is they do tend to get a little messy. So I'm not too sure about hiring out cookbooks. It's not really a smart move. But the library has a lot of fictional books, and I do know I've got a lot of clients who grab the Stephen King novels and they read through them and then they bring them back to the library. So that's a common occurrence and something which I probably would encourage people to do. I prefer more science fiction rather than horror. Okay. So I enjoy things with Star Trek and that type of thing. So yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
And Doctor Who. Mustn't forget Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm. Oh, never. I heard that you participated in the character hunt. Which character did you choose?
Well, not about choosing. I was given a character, and the character I was given was Willy Wonka.
Oh, perfect.
And I had two young boys from the Whangarei Intermediate, and they played the Oompa Loompas.
That's right. Do you have a highlight from that day?
Look, it was absolutely brilliant dealing with the kids. It was absolutely wonderful seeing them interact with the different characters and really making the use of what a library is all about. Yes, at times it was a little noisy, and the chocolate they seemed to really enjoy. So, but I'm saying that it was a great event for the community to be involved with.
Awesome.
And libraries are, of course, a community-facing service. What do you find the most fulfilling about working with the Whangarei community?
Probably the most fulfilling thing is that people are not afraid to ask a question. And that's probably one of the best things about our community. Our community, because it's semi-rural, semi-urban, they still have that whole we want to find out the answer. We want the answers. And that's a great place what the library is involved with. As I said before, our team do a lot of the surveys from inside the library and a lot of interacting with the community. So that's a great part of it.
Okay. And lastly, would you like to recommend a song to play on the radio?
Recommend a song? Well, anything from Queen through to, I'm very much I don't want to say a metler, but it's I grew up in the 80s, so, anything in the 80s was usually pretty good for me.
I'm a metal fan too.
Yeah.
And that was Mayor Vince Cocurullo. And a big thank you for him for sitting down with us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mayor, for your support of the library.
So we'll get to his song request in a little bit. He mentioned fantasy and science fiction.
Two big genres that are shelved in the same place in the library, but there's a bit of a difference, isn't there, between them?
Definitely. There's definitely crossover, but the difference is, I'd say, fantasy's the impossible.
Yeah, magical realism.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, Discworld.
Yeah, fairies, goblins,
giants, dragons.
elves.
And you can find our fantasy books with a dragon sticker on the spine.
And the sci-fis have, what was the sticker on the sci-fis?
It's Saturn.
Oh, Saturn, that's
Yeah.
right. And they're more spaceshipy.
I'd say it's things that could happen in the future. We can't know it yet, but
Yeah.
it's not inconceivable.
So maybe Star Wars is a good example of that. Star Trek, like he mentioned.
And in terms of books, it's anything by Isaac Asimov. And I'd say Star Wars has some fantasy in it. you
Yeah,
know,
there's both.
the Force.
The Ewoks.
The Ewoks. They look like little bears. I didn't know much about these genres until about a year ago. I read a few Discworld books for fantasy, and for sci-fi, I read an Adrian Tchaikovsky book, The Elder Race, and loved it.
Oh, awesome. Those are good recommendations. Do we have them in the library?
We do. He mentioned also Doctor Who at some point. Doctor Who has become a bit of a comic book genre of its own.
Yeah.
And if you like the show, you might like the comics too.
Junior, for children, adults, or?
Teens.
Oh.
Yeah. So those should be fun. Well, shall we play the mayor's recommendation?
Just before we get to that, he also mentioned cookbooks, and I'll just briefly touch on the mayor's love of cookbooks because I find it so interesting in how a digital age, the good old-fashioned print cookbook is still hugely popular, and we see that in the library. The recipe books are found in the 641 section of the Dewey Decimal System upstairs of the library, and people are always hunting around there. So one reason I found in my little bit of Googling is that as to why it's so popular is that cooks and bakers now have to build a following online to keep up with the likes of Jamie Oliver and Gordon Ramsay, like he mentioned.
Okay.
So they often start by publishing recipes online and then building a fan base. For example, there's the winners of Bake Off and MasterChef. Their books, their cookbooks published after are huge. But there's also like the two Raw sisters I see going out. They're plant-based dietitians in New Zealand, and their cookbooks are a hit.
Okay.
And they've now released an app. So it's sort of the old tech and the new tech going together. So I just found that really interesting, and maybe one of the reasons why they're still popular is because they complement each other. So that was my 2 cents.
Okay. Yeah. They're incredibly popular. They're very heavy too, I might add.
The best ones are the ones with the good pictures in them.
Oh, definitely. You need to know what it looks like.
Yeah, not all of them have that though.
I haven't checked out a cookbook yet. I'd say I'd probably get something that I could make in a big pot, like a curry. What do you think, Glenn?
Oh, well, they definitely have. We definitely have lots of one-pot books, pretty much catering for a range of different people. So there's lots of vegetarian cookbooks, vegan cookbooks, people that have no time. So one pot, quick cooking.
Yeah. And there's also the wellness, trend or craze, whatever the big thing going on. Like we have keto cookbooks that fly off the shelves, paleo, sugar-free.
Fasting cookbooks.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see too many of them. The Mia mentioned, getting all the books dirty.
No,
But no, I don't see
ours
that
are quite
happening too
clean. I
much.
think people are quite responsible with.
I reckon
with
there
them.
is
Yeah.
that thing where you take the cookbooks just because you like looking at the pictures, so it's more of a coffee table book scenario. Maybe?
Yeah, could be, or maybe just an inspiration, and then
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen anything with, say, pasta sauce on it when it was returned. It hasn't happened.
But now you've jinxed it.
All right. Well, there's your challenge, people. Return.
We have seen a sandwich come through the returns machine, so
Was it any good?
I don't think anyone ate it.
Oh, okay.
Straight to the bin.
That's too bad. So we've got, based on the mayor's recommendation, a heavy metal song called "Proud to Be Loud." How ironic is that?
Yeah, because the library is known to be loud.
Our intro has shushing in it. But this is by Pantera. Proud to Be Loud, eh? That was Pantera.
We hope we did you proud, Mayor Cocurullo, with that song.
Did you proud to be loud?
Proud to be loud in the library. From the Rebel Librarians.
Yeah, we don't really shush people that often, do
No,
we?
the library's not exactly a quiet space anymore, to be honest. It's a community hub, so it's what you'd expect from a place where people meet and gather and have fun times, sing, dance.
Yeah, a place of recreation. Where there's recreation, you can't go around shushing people. That's a buzzkill.
Well, maybe we need to bring it back. Maybe we could have
what?
start an International Shush People Day. 'Cause I don't think I've really seen any shushing ever.
No, definitely not in the library. No.
We should do it one day.
Yeah.
Maybe part
Yeah.
of the Fringe Festival we could have a shush day.
Yeah.
We would just go around shushing people.
We should wear our cardigans as well. And
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dress
Okay.
up.
All right. Oh, and you are listening to The Shelf, the podcast for Whangarei District Libraries on Beagle Radio, and welcome back.
Welcome back to our summer special. And don't forget, we're on YouTube as well. This podcast will be up on YouTube with the rest of them. And we're also on Facebook and Instagram, Whangarei Libraries.
That's right. This next segment is it's something we haven't tried yet, but the idea was we just talked to people in the library and interviewed them. So instead of talking to mayors and managers, we just spoke to our customers.
Yeah, we wanted to get an idea of what they love about our library.
And getting interviews from the public, I studied journalism, is not easy. It's awkward. And some customers, when I asked them, would you like to say something about the library for the radio, they just said no, or no thank you.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's
Their
fine.
prerogative.
Yeah, that's fine. But we did speak to a handful of people, and
Yeah, we spoke to a bunch of people. I managed to, all three of us managed to get a wide range of responses. A few people, there was a lot of different answers coming up about why they like the library. It wasn't just one thing, which I found interesting.
many age groups too. And you can tell in the background, especially in the kids area, that these are the sounds of the library. And
Yeah, definitely.
it is indeed a place of recreation. While we were talking to one kid, there was another, playing on one of those plastic horsies,
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah. Okay, should we give it a listen?
Let's get into it.
What do you like about the library? There's heaps of toys, and the staff are really nice. Say hi.
Hi. I love being able to find the books that I can't get to read online in the library.
So I come to the library because I can find books on theology that I don't have access to, and I prefer to read hard copies rather than on the internet and on screens. So, yeah.
Oh, I just love coming into the library. It's my home away from home. It's where I find my own place and things. Mind you, I am an ex-librarian, so it is home from home.
So I'm traveling. I've just spent one day here and been looking for some good Wi-Fi and good learning spot, and it's been great to be here.
Comic books are cool. I like the Wi-Fi at the library.
I really enjoy coming to the library because it's quite peaceful on most occasions, and you can browse to your heart's content, and you can also get a nice coffee and an Afghan if you wish.
I love all the artwork and the vibrancy in here. Yeah, even the staff, everybody. Yeah, and I love the artwork.
Yeah.
Local, man.
Coming to the library and getting my reading. I've got a Kindle, but I don't use it. Now I can find a new author.
Yeah, sounds great.
I love our library because there's so many genres to choose. The staff are really helpful, and there is all sorts of print to choose from, which is grand. Thank you.
I like the teen books.
Do you have a favourite book? Or
No.
you like all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing what is available.
Yeah.
I was enthralled by the little kids' opportunities and fun for mums to gather together and maybe fathers too. and just the whole feeling of the place.
Yeah.
Is somewhere you could spend almost a day. Quite happily.
It's a family-friendly environment that you could bring anyone to, and there's something to enjoy, and it's safe.
Yeah, the sense of community is just wonderful, that you feel connected with this place of Whangarei, and I appreciate that.
We do like the library. It's a lovely space. We wish we had more time for reading and could come more often. Usually we just come here, maybe for one book or so. We're not always successful finding them, and maybe we should ask a bit more often.
Okay. When we ask, we're very helpful anyway.
Yeah,
and,
very helpful.
We like the cafe, we can have a book and have a coffee and then go home.
It's not about the library, it's the fact that since I was a small child, libraries have been central to my life since I was a very small child. And all over the world, I gravitate to libraries. I think they are the centre of the hub of civilization, okay? Where you meet people of your own kind and where you can relax in a learned environment. How about that?
We noticed that we're from Germany, and in Germany the libraries are way quieter, and there are not that much people, and just like older people, and here it's like a meeting point for young people, and there are so many different kind of people, and I think it's really nice because it's like it feels like the library is living more than in our country. Yeah, we're planning our trip here because we're doing work and travel here, and we need to organize like a few days. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I normally come here to play on the computers and on the games. Sometimes I read books, but I mostly just come here for the computers.
Cool. And what do you do on the computers?
I play on Scratch and watch YouTube and play different games with them.
Awesome. Can you say that again?
I really like these cute books.
What sort of books have you got?
Animal books.
Animal books. What's on the front cover? I can see, is that a cat?
A cat and a bunny.
Oh. And do you read them yourself?
No, Mum reads me. And so does my sister Phoebe.
Nice.
There's something for everyone, and as I was saying, I've just joined up because my mum usually comes and gets a lot of books out for the girls, but just at the show next door, so yeah, came and joined up and got some books out for the girls just so that they can keep reading over the holidays. Yeah.
You like the fish?
What I like most about the library is the welcoming entranceway, and then as far as the books are concerned, I like music, so I read a lot of autobiographies about musicians, and I like nature, so there's a good selection of books about birds, books about fish, books about wildlife in general. Also the coffee lounge takes some beating. Come and read the papers sometimes, have a coffee. The other thing I like is that if I lose a book, I don't get hassled too much. The staff are pretty patient until I find it.
Okay.
Wonderful place. Architecture takes some beating too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the librarians are so helpful.
I like the library because there's lots of good options for books, and there's tons, and there's books for everybody, and it's good.
I like the books.
Yay!
Oh yeah, no, well it's quite a good library. There's plenty of books there, a lot of cooking books and plenty of non-fiction, yeah.
I'm impressed by the librarians. I think they're one of the last school of what would you call it? Public service in New Zealand. Probably close to the teachers, if you like. There you go.
The library is my most favourite place in Whangarei, believe it or not. I just come here because it has everything that I need. You know, the books, the people are nice. The cafe. Yeah. It's just a nice, relaxing place to be in.
some really kind messages in
Aw,
there.
I love that.
Yeah, I wrote a list of some of the key points. There's access to things you can't find otherwise. A home away from home. The cafe was mentioned.
Cafe was a hit.
Browsing to find new authors. There's different kinds of people. It's diverse. And I'll say this, if you can't find it on the shelf, just ask us.
Yep, we're always happy to help.
Yeah, plenty of options. Oh, I liked the special mention for the fish tank.
Yeah, fish, the MVP, our little fishies.
Yes, so if you haven't been to the library yet, check out the fish.
Yeah, definitely. They're just to the side of the stairway there by the free books and the for sale books. The kids love the fish, and adults too.
Yeah, well, don't tap on the glass.
Yeah, careful of the fish. Seeing as it's our summer special, I just wanted to list some of the big books of the year. What I've got here is the top books for November, but it's pretty consistent with what was leading the rest of the year as well. So, could either of you maybe guess what you think our top books were?
Seven Sisters.
Atlas, the story of Pa Salt.
Ding, ding, ding. Correct. Lucinda Riley's Atlas, the story of Pa Salt was number 1 in November. And I think probably we can assume it's the number 1 for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
At one point we had 18 copies of the books when it came in. So that was number 1. Number 2 was Lee Child's Blue Moon.
Oh, okay.
And number 3 was Lee Child's No Plan B.
2 in a year.
And number 4 was Lee Child's Better Off Dead.
Oh, I'm saying a
Number
monopoly
5. Who can you guess who number 5 might be?
Lee Child.
James Patterson.
Lee Child, the Sentinel. So Lee Child dominated November. And that's fiction, specifically. Non-fiction, we have our top books was... Oh, this is a good one. Could you maybe guess the top non-fiction book?
Sapiens?
No. Actually, that's not even on the top 5.
Oh.
Which is...
Give us a clue.
Well, it was kind of a trick question. It's probably top every year, but it's the Road Code.
That's good.
Yeah. Just the official New Zealand Road Code. Number 2, you might be able to guess. I think this was released this year. Must be. It's a
cookbook.
No, a biography, autobiography.
Prince Harry?
Yes.
Oh.
Prince Harry Spear was number 2. Number 3 was Haley Holt's Second Chances, which I think was last year's book, maybe. Number 4 was also another Road Code.
Good.
Number 5 was Haley Morris, Me versus Brain, An Overthinker's Guide to Life. And that was for November, but I think we can safely assume that the Road Code and Prince Harry and Haley Holt also were probably dominating the rest of the year as well.
Definitely,
So,
yeah.
But Lee Child overall.
Lee Child, yeah.
The winner.
The winner of the library this year. Well done to Lee Child.
What do you think it'll be next month? I'm thinking maybe Britney Spears' book.
Yes, maybe. If, Britney Spears' book must have released maybe the end of last month. Her and Barbara Streisand. So maybe that's December.
Autobiography, is it, or biography?
Both autobiographies. Yeah. So maybe that's December. We'll know next month.
Yeah. Okay. And it's been a wonderful year. We've had some really fun and successful events and programs that we ran, and I think we have many reasons to be very proud of them. What do you think, Karlie?
Definitely. We had so many cool events, and we met so many cool people from the public and cool people that we collaborated with different events and programs. So thanks for everyone's support this year. We have, I think we all each probably have some highlights we want to talk about. Yeah. Andy, what was the highlight for you?
Big deal for me in my career is I came up with an event, and we saw it through. The outreach team helped me make a movie night. We showed a horror film a few days before Halloween. We watched Nosferatu, the 1922 silent horror film that is spooky and kind of funny also.
Yeah, there were definitely some giggles in the audience.
Yeah, my whole idea was I think there's really nothing like being in a theater with a group of people you know and you're all scared at the same time while watching a horror movie, or you're watching a comedy and you're all laughing to tears.
Yeah, and so that had a mix of both of
yes,
them, I think.
It did. The scenes where the vampire was running around very quickly with a coffin, or when his wagon would speed away, it looked like a Ferrari taking off. It was hilarious.
That was hilarious. And there were like different age groups represented in the audience as well. I remember a family being there, and
yes.
Yeah.
So that was huge for me. I actually created an event, and I saw it through.
Paki.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, that was really fun. Maybe a highlight for me would probably be the volunteering expo we had way back in June, although it doesn't seem that long ago. So this was organised by Verena at Volunteering Expo, Volunteering Northland. And it was held in the library. We had such a fun day. It was a full-on day. Heaps of community groups from around Whangarei pitched in, had stalls. People could visit them and do micro-volunteering events. And it was super fun. And at the end there was the mayor came and did a prize giving. It was super fun and a lively event at the library.
It was excellent, wasn't it? And they really helped to put on a great event. And like you said, it was a good chance to thank all the many people that volunteer in various ways in the community.
Yeah, they do such an awesome job, and it was just cool to, I learnt more about what they do, so I was happy to be a part of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I don't know how many times, I've got more than one highlight, but I'll start with this one. We had the Wellington Sea Shanty Society come and perform. They were doing a tour of Northland. They came and did a kids and family show on a Sunday. I think it was back in October. Actually, I don't know when it was.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, anyway, a few months ago. Between sometime in 2023. Should we narrow it down to that? I've got a little clip of them. You've got to imagine the children's room in the Central Library, packed with about 100 people, about 11 a.m. on a Sunday. It sounded something like this. Right, that was the Wellington Sea Shanty Society doing the Wellerman song. Everyone clapping and singing along and dancing along. It was super cool.
How cool. I love that.
It's great. Another highlight for me while I've got the microphone was the space exhibition that came to the library. Now, that was also in 2023.
Yeah, that was sometime in 2023.
Very accurate with the dates.
Yep.
So that was put on by the Otago Museum. It's touring the country, and it's all about promoting the space industry, space science, and science in general to children and teenagers, really. But we had heaps of people. We had over 2,000 people come through the library to look at that over the 2 weeks it was here. There was the 5 billion year old...
Yeah. You could touch the meteorite.
Yep. That was pretty cool. There was the screen showing all of the space junk. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Showing all the satellites and
humbling.
rubbish floating around in our atmosphere. There was a hydrogen propulsion unit where you could separate the hydrogen out of the H2O and make a ping pong ball explode. So that was really cool. So that's another highlight from me. Any others from you guys?
Well, I guess there's... the big thing we're doing right now, the podcast. This is...
Oh, yeah, the radio show.
Our maiden voyage. I mean, we're actually doing it, and it works. It's fun. So much fun.
So much fun, and we get to talk to people like Olivia from Creative Northland and Laurel from here at 116. it's been really cool, and it's just a fun way to reach more people and show everyone how cool and fun the library really is.
Yes, and if you want to listen to our previous episodes, just look for us on YouTube, Whangarei District Libraries.
Yep, they're all on there on a playlist, ready for you.
And I like choosing songs a lot.
And you're good at it. You've got a lot of good recs.
Oh, thank you. I like choosing formats and genres to talk about. Just throw the references around. And book recommendations. I love doing those, of course. And I think it's important to understand now a library is a repository for information, but with this podcast now we are publishing or creating information.
Yeah, shifting to creators rather than just what do you call it? Dealers.
Yeah, we've got the content. We're dealing the content now, and I think that's great. That's
that's how we stay relevant and fun.
Yeah, it's a bit of work preparing, but I look forward to it every time.
Definitely.
And then there's also something really exciting. Karlie and I and 2 more colleagues went to Christchurch.
Yeah, shout out to the squad, LJ and Milani as well.
Yeah, it was for a work conference for the Library and Information Association of Aotearoa.
A.K.A. Lianza.
New Zealand Aotearoa. Yes, Lianza. And I went to Christchurch for the first time ever. And
it's a great city.
Oh, and I learned so much.
Yeah, it was information overload, but in the best way. We came back like full of ideas and inspiration about what we could do in our libraries. Taking that inspiration from other librarians we met and heard from there.
Including things that we could bring to the podcast, which I was happy to see. It looks like we were already halfway there.
Yeah.
And, what do we look forward to in 2024 for the library? What are we looking forward to?
Well, I guess we'll be doing more of the same, won't we? A lot of things that we did this year will happen again. So always one of my highlights is our preschool fun time sessions that we do each week. So at the moment, we had our last session last week, and that takes a break over the summer holidays, but that resumes in February next year. So those are music, dancing, stories, and activities for preschoolers and whānau. That's always a highlight. The highlight of that for this year for me was one day we collected all the cardboard boxes that the books arrive in. We collected about 100 boxes and made a big box fort in the children's room. The children built a big box fort. It eventually became a pirate ship, and we sat inside it. And then we got all this foam, not spray foam, but chunks of
like sponge,
and had a great sponge fight.
That was epic.
I'm not sure who enjoyed it more, the preschoolers or the parents.
Yeah.
But it was
all
great.
All the librarians,
but yeah. So that was another highlight for me. So next year we'll be doing fun times again. We'll be doing school holiday programs and hopefully lots more fun events. Actually, coming up right now, have we mentioned the Summer Reading Challenge?
Oh, we haven't yet. Summer Reading Challenge is happening right now for the tamariki.
So that is what involved there. There's one compulsory challenge, and that's to read for a certain amount of minutes every day over the summer. Might be that you read for 5 minutes. I know a lot of kids come in and say, I'm going to read for 4 hours a day. But you just have to choose something, something
commit
realistic.
To something realistic, yeah.
And as long as you read for so many minutes every day, from now, for example, until the 19th of January, then you get a prize. And there's lots of other things beyond just reading that you can do.
No, there's heaps of fun challenges and activities for the kids to do. And they can do it by themselves or with their friends and brothers and sisters, parents. Lots of creative activities I've seen.
One of them is, one challenge is to build the biggest stack of pancakes that you can, the tallest stack of pancakes.
Oh, cool. I might just do that on my own.
You can do it, yeah. I'm not sure if you'll be able to go in the draw for a prize, but...
Can I send my photo in?
You sure can. Of course you can. Another one is make a hut inside or outside and try and sleep the night in it.
Oh, awesome. I saw there was a Lego challenge as well, building a tower and a way to escape the tower, I think. Yep.
I Spy challenges, so like sort of things you can do if you're driving around during the holidays. You've got to look out for a certain number of things. So there's heaps of different activities. It's not just all about reading. There's a cool prize giving coming up in January. That's always a bit of a show. So that's lots of fun.
Yeah, so you can pick up the registration booklet from any one of our branches. We've also got the mystery book challenge. You can grab a mystery book from any of our branches as well if the kids want to read a surprise book. And yes, you can also find the form online as well on our website and send them in online or in person as well. Easy peasy.
Yeah. Now, that's for children roughly up to about 12, for example. I mean, actually, any age child could do it. But there is, in addition to that, there's a Teen Read 5 challenge or Teen Bingo challenge. So if you're 10 and up, you can borrow some books, and when you return it, you can take one of our book bingo forms and get a stamp for each of the challenges you do. And again, you get an instant prize and then go into the draw for the big prize hamper. So these are all things just designed to keep children and teens reading over the summer without going into the whole science of it. It's kind of this proven thing where children's reading declines over summer, and that's 6 weeks. So this is just designed to keep them engaged with the reading. So highly recommend that.
Awesome. Super fun.
We're going to go to a song now. Let's cut away to a song. We've got one prepared here. I'm going to call this my song of the year. It's oh, look, we've got it queued up on 2 different computers. This is exciting. It's my song of the year. It's not by a new band. I've mentioned this band before. The band's called Sparks. They've been around since the late 60s, early 70s. But they're a new band to me. I'd never heard of them until a friend recommended them while I was walking home about 3 months ago, and they've quickly become one of my favourite bands. They're the 2 guys, the Male Brothers. They are in their 70s, but they're still making music.
Is this the Sparks Brothers? Now it's clicking for me.
Right, yeah.
There was a documentary or something on
That's
them.
right, yeah. It's an Edgar Wright documentary. Came out a couple of years ago that's really worth checking out. They're sort of like a band or a duo that's released countless albums since the early 70s, and they really deserve to be more famous than they are. But since that documentary, they've had quite a resurgence of popularity.
Right. Yeah.
They've got a cool video for the song that we're about to play called "The Girl Is Crying in Her Latte," video featuring a great dance performance by Kate Blanchett. So this is it. This is Sparks. "The Girl Is Crying in Her Latte."
Woohoo! What a jam!
Yeah, the video was great too.
Kate you need to YouTube that, guys.
Yeah. And you are listening to The Shelf, podcast for Whangarei District Libraries on Beagle Radio FM.
Or alternatively, you're listening on our podcast on our YouTube channel.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's do just a brief segment of what's in my bag. I just want to talk about 2 things. 2 DVDs that I checked out. One is called Minari. I think it was up for Best Picture last year. It's about a Korean family emigrating to America during the 1980s. And I saw it a few days ago. It's so good. It's kind of a tearjerker. The next is Man on Wire, which is just a movie about a very eccentric performance artist who did a tightrope walk between the Twin Towers in New York.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I've seen that guy tight roping around. It's horrifying to watch.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I watched one of his things live. It was just, it was awful.
Yeah, it's a suspenseful documentary.
Oh no, I can't watch.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And what's in my bag currently? It's not very heavy bag because it's Christmas and I've been super busy. But currently, what's in my bag? I've got on the Libby app. Actually, I've booked out the Time magazine recent edition because there's a Taylor Swift thing on there. She's one of the Time People of the Year. So I thought I'm just reading that currently. And I'm also reading poetry by Mary Oliver. Blue Horses is a as one we have in the library that I could recommend, but she's
Okay.
always an awesome poet. R.I.P.
All right. Well, I've got two things in my bag. I'm currently just finished reading this book called 21st Century Virtues and How They Are Failing Our Democracy by Lucinda Holdsworth. It's a small book, which is what attracted me to it in part, and also I heard her interviewed on national radio. So it's talking about the current virtues that people celebrate in our society and how they might actually be failing our democratic process. It's a small book. I'm almost going to have to read it again because I sort of just got to the end and I need to digest it a bit more, but really interesting. And authenticity, vulnerability, humility, transparency, these are some of the virtues that are recommended by people these days. And this author, Lucinda Holdsworth, is questioning whether those are the right values, actually. So, really interesting book. So I recommend that to anyone. You're welcome to have it after I've finished reading
Yeah,
it.
I might do. I might place a request on that one.
The other thing I've got in my bag, literally, because I always choose some really light books to read over summer, as in easy. I usually get some Agatha Christie mysteries. But I got one by P.G. Wodehouse about Jeeves.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever read them?
I saw the show, Jeeves and Wooster, the TV show.
Right. Never read it. I had a friend that just loves them, and I've heard Stephen Fry, who just absolutely adores this guy, P.G. Wodehouse. So that's going to be my summer reading challenges to read one or two of these Jeeves books.
Okay. Excellent. And well, we're almost finished here. I just want to make a last message. Just some summer advice. Please exercise some common sense while driving. It's the time to travel to the beach and travel to see family. Just please drive safely. It's not worth it to drive too quickly. Exercise water safety, please. Be sensible. And wear sunscreen at the beach. The sun is very ouchy.
Yep, it is. And if you need a place to hang out, feel free to come to the library. We're just closed the stat days, and we're closing at 5 the next couple of weeks, so no late nights coming up. But you're always welcome to come hang out, come read in the library, and
Well, we'll finish off with a very unusual song with an unusual name. I think I can say it. Priesen Kolsen Einstein Chusel.
And this is a gibberish song for anyone wondering. It's it's an Italian singer, and he's mimicking what English sounds like, but they're not real words.
Yeah, that's it.
Ka kite, have a
Ka
great
kite.
summer.
You the cold maids say one freezing cold and dancing and choose all right.
We don't stay in the shoes now and whole building scene in a whole red maybe get the color boss dying. Chickens and behind me get the cold, baby, stay yet, Bill Joe. We don't stay in the shoes now and whole building scene in a whole red maybe get the color boss dying. When it's the same age, you can't be seen. You never tell me, never judge a God, believe it's a shame. You the common not choose, not buying for not sure, hope, just getting on the cover, no time. Oh, but if it's a stand, light the shoes go, my man. You would trust in the match called the Radio Girls. Oh, someday. out the king of the sea to land the just enough but off whole had a good time let face go. We can see him in the stand and the shoes are come up in. There's two other cars that love a forward the guy to stay. I iced my chance let ain't a hill so throw it breeze on I call and made to say one piece it called and they see that two song alright. You know you not feel as you can on them and don't let's play but that's the line think yo.
I my sense and you got something with pizza eyes. You call me to say one piece and call
you know, Bill, you can on them and don't. Let's play, but that's the line, think, yo.